The rain hit the pavement like a quiet drumbeat. It was one of those Los Angeles evenings, wet, gray, and a little too cold for April. A yellow cab pulled over beneath a flickering neon sign. The door creaked open, and a tall man stepped in, shaking off his umbrella. Water dripped from the hem of his jacket. "Rough night," he said casually, his voice warm but distant. On the far side of the back seat sat a woman, maybe in her early 30s, with tired eyes and a backpack resting protectively on her lap. She looked startled for a second, then gave a small nod. "Yeah, it's been long," she said, brushing wet strands of hair behind her ear. He smiled gently. "Name's Elon." Her eyes widened for a split second, then softened. "Emma." They shook hands awkwardly as the cab began to roll. Emma pulled her coat tighter. Her hands trembled slightly, not from fear, but exhaustion. The cab's heater struggled against the cold. "Picking someone up?" Elon asked, making conversation. "My kids," she replied. "They're at school." He noticed how she said it, not just the words, but the way her voice caught slightly on the word kids. Like every syllable carried weight. The silence returned, broken only by the patter of rain and a soft jazz tune from the radio. Then Emma said something almost too quiet to hear. "I wish I had a car, just something reliable. It's tough. Buses are late, especially when it rains." Elon leaned back, processing her words. "A car, huh?" he asked, genuinely curious. "Yeah," she said, offering a faint smile. "One of those electric ones would be a dream. But I'm a single mom working 2 jobs. Dreams like that don't happen to people like me." He didn't say anything right away, just looked out the window, watching the city blur past, but something shifted in his eyes, like a spark. The cab slowed at a red light. Emma clutched her backpack tighter. Elon turned to her and said with quiet certainty, "Sometimes, the right people just need to be seen." She looked at him, confused. But before she could ask more, the cab rolled forward. Somewhere in the distance, headlights cut through the rain. And somewhere inside that yellow cab, a new idea was already taking shape. Fulham 2, the dream she didn't dare say out loud. The cab glided through the slick streets, windshield wipers swishing in a steady rhythm. Elon glanced sideways again. Emma was staring out the window, eyes fixed on nothing. Her breath fogged up the glass in little clouds. "Can I ask you something?" he said. Emma blinked and turned to him, unsure. "Sure. Why do you want a car? I mean, what would it really change for you?" She hesitated. Then, in a quiet voice that felt like it came from somewhere deep inside, "I run, all the time, from work to school, to the pharmacy, to the bus stop, back home, every single day. And every time I'm late, I feel like I'm failing them." Elon listened closely. "Sometimes," she continued, "I dream about not running anymore. I dream about being able to just get in a car and go, no waiting, no worrying, just me and my kids, safe, together." There was something raw about her words, not rehearsed, not for sympathy, just truth. He nodded slowly. "You ever think about electric cars?" Emma gave a dry chuckle. "All the time. I follow every post, every video. Teslas, especially. They're clean, silent, reliable. But they're also a fantasy. Not for people like me." Her voice cracked slightly on that last sentence. Elon didn't respond right away. He reached into his coat and pulled out a small white business card. Without a word, he handed it to her. Emma stared at it. The name wasn't flashy, just E.R. Musk. Private contact. Her eyebrows shot up. "Wait, are you?" He raised a finger gently and smiled. "A friend." The cab pulled up in front of a small charter school. Emma's twin boys ran out, squealing with joy. "Mommy!" She hugged them tight, brushing rain off their hair. Elon stepped out, holding the door. "You've got a beautiful family," he said softly. Emma stood frozen, the card still clenched in her hand. That night, a blurry photo surfaced on X. A mysterious man, a woman, a yellow cab. No faces visible, but speculation exploded. Some said it was Elon Musk. Others called it a PR stunt. But for Emma, it wasn't about the rumors. It was about a feeling that maybe, just maybe, someone had finally seen her. 3 weeks passed. Emma tried to ignore the card on her nightstand, but every night, before turning out the light, her eyes drifted toward it. It felt unreal, like something from a dream she wasn't sure she deserved. Then one morning, after walking the twins to school in the rain again, she came home soaked to the skin. The buses were late. Again, her shoes squished with every step. She stared at the card, then, slowly, picked up her phone. Her fingers trembled as she typed in the number. It rang once, twice. "Emma?" a familiar voice answered. Her breath caught. "Yes, it's Pete. Elon here. I was hoping you'd call." His voice was calm, unshaken, like he knew she would. He asked how she was, how the boys were doing. She gave short, honest answers. He listened. Then, after a pause, he said something that made her nearly drop the phone. "I'd like to invite you to Tesla." Emma blinked. "Wait, what?" "I want to show you something," he said. "And I want your opinion." My opinion? She thought. A week later, she stood in a giant Tesla facility. The place smelled like metal and ambition. Emma followed Elon past gleaming machinery and engineers in black t-shirts. It all felt like stepping into the future. Finally, he stopped in front of a covered vehicle. "We're working on something new," he said, pulling the tarp off. Beneath it sat a sleek, compact electric car. Unlike any other Tesla. Simplified, affordable, efficient. "For people like you," Elon said, "single parents, working families, people who shouldn't have to dream about getting to school on time." Emma didn't speak. She just reached out and touched the smooth hood. I don't know what to say." He smiled. "Say what you think. That's why you're here." That night, X went wild again. Rumors of a new Tesla model flooded the internet. But behind the headlines and the hashtags, one quiet woman sat in a motel room, her kids asleep beside her, wondering, could this really be happening? Months passed, but not like before. This time, Emma wasn't running to catch a bus. She was walking through the Tesla plant, clip-on badge, safety vest, and a notebook full of ideas. Elon had invited her back again and again. At first, to observe, then to speak up. Now, she stood beside a prototype model labeled Project Family. The design was different from anything Tesla had done before. Smaller, but still sleek. Sturdy enough for city bumps, simple enough for new drivers, and budget-friendly for anyone who'd once thought, electric cars aren't for people like me. Emma slid into the driver's seat for the first time. Her twin boys giggled from the back seat. The engineer beside her said, "Ready?" She smiled nervously. "Let's do it." The car rolled forward, whisper quiet. No engine growl, just the hum of electricity and the sound of kids laughing. "Feels like flying," she said. Elon watched from a distance, arms crossed, nodding. Later, as they reviewed performance data, he turned to her. "This wouldn't exist without you." Emma shook her head. "I didn't build anything." "You told the truth," he said. "That's more than most do." Word spread fast. A viral clip exploded on X8. "Tesla builds a car for moms?" The caption read, "Inspired by a single mother's dream." People couldn't believe it, but Emma could, because every bolt, every button had been built with her struggles in mind. "This isn't just a car," she whispered one day, standing beside the polished model. "It's a yes to everyone who's been told no. Elon nodded. That's what we're driving toward. The twins ran up, hugging her legs. Mom, can we keep it? One of them asked, eyes wide. She laughed. Maybe someday. But in her heart, she knew this dream wasn't just hers anymore. It belonged to every parent, every family, and every road still waiting to be driven. The lights dimmed. The crowd fell silent. At the Tesla launch event in San Francisco, thousands had gathered. Investors, reporters, dreamers. The energy was electric, the tension crackling. Then a spotlight hit center stage. Elon Musk walked out, calm as ever, in a black jacket and jeans. But something was different tonight. He wasn't alone. Right beside him stood Emma Carter. She looked down at her simple dress, her hand tightly holding her son's. She never imagined standing here, under bright lights, in front of flashing cameras. But here she was. Elon stepped up to the mic. Tonight, he said, isn't just about a car. It's about a story of someone most people would have overlooked. He gestured to Emma. This mother, this woman, changed the way we think about accessibility, design, and purpose. The screen behind them flickered to life. A sleek image of the new Tesla family appeared. Compact, affordable, reliable, safe, made for families, for cities, for people who had once been told to wait. Emma reminded us, Elon continued, that technology doesn't mean anything if it doesn't serve the people who need it most. Emma stepped forward. Her voice shook, but she spoke. I was just trying to keep up, she said, trying to be a good mom. I never thought my struggle could mean something to someone else. Her sons waved to the crowd. The audience melted. Then Elon handed her a small red box. Inside, a miniature Tesla family model painted the exact color she had once described in the cab. Emma gasped. This is yours, Elon said softly. Your story. Your road. She turned to the crowd, teary-eyed. If this can happen to me, then don't ever think your story isn't worth something, because you never know who might be listening. The audience erupted. Reporters rushed to post headlines. Single mom inspires Tesla's boldest move yet. Elon Musk credits mom of twins at global launch. But Emma? She just knelt beside her boys, whispered, "We did it," and hugged them close. Because the biggest dream she'd ever had wasn't about a car. It was about being seen. 1 year later, the roads looked different. Across small towns, big cities, dusty suburbs, and foggy hillsides, Tesla family cars quietly zipped by. No roaring engines, no delay, just parents and kids, on time, together. A dream, once whispered in the back of a taxi, was now moving, literally, in millions of directions. Elon sat across from Emma on a sunny cafe patio in downtown Los Angeles. Her boys were chasing pigeons across the plaza, laughing wildly. A breeze danced through paper napkins, and the scent of espresso filled the air. I still can't believe it, Emma said, wrapping her fingers around a warm coffee cup. That it all started there. That night. Elon smiled. I can. He pulled out a small notebook, weathered at the edges. Emma raised an eyebrow. What's that? The napkin sketches, he grinned. From the first brainstorming session, you don't remember? You drew a car with built-in booster seats. Emma laughed. I was half joking. And we built it. They both turned to watch a Tesla family glide past the intersection. A young woman was driving. In the back, a toddler waved through the window. Emma looked down for a moment, her voice softer. I used to feel invisible. Like my whole life was noise in the background of someone else's movie. Elon leaned in. Now you're the reason the whole script changed. A moment of silence passed. Not awkward, just full. Then Elon reached into his pocket and slid over a small envelope. Emma opened it slowly. Inside was a sleek Tesla key and a handwritten note. for the one who reminded us who we build for. This one's for your road." Her eyes welled up. "You didn't have to." "I wanted to," he said simply. Her boys ran back, out of breath, faces lit up. "Mom, can we drive it today?" Emma smiled. "We're not running late anymore." Somewhere in the world, another single parent got into their Tesla family for the first time. Somewhere else, a kid showed up to school on time with dry shoes and a full lunch. Because a stranger once asked a quiet woman in a taxi, "Where are you headed?" And she answered, without even realizing, "The future."
If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Subscribe for more inspiring stories.